Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new loot video. So today I bring you guys loot from 1000 tar monsters. Released into the game September 7th, 2017, the tar monster resides in the tar swamp area of Fossil Island. They hide underneath the tar and only appear as tar bubbles at first, but once you step or run near these bubbles, the monster will emerge out of the swamp and start attacking you. And worst of all, the attack is a typeless attack style, which means no matter your level, no matter what you pray, you will get damaged. And that is why for this video I did have to go with the max strength setup, the rapier with full bandos as well as the fighter helmet, and the inventory was a bunch of anglerfish, karambwans, divine super combat potions, and of course the dig site pendant in order to get to this location. And there he is, swimming and standing tall at a combat level of 132. The tar monster can only be taken down in two ways. The first way is using a hoop snake, which stuns them, and I will show you all that later. And of course the second way, you can fight back. And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what this video is, me fighting back and killing this tar monster not one time but 1000 times, averaging 60 kills an hour, taking just around 16 hours to complete. Although I will say it felt a lot longer than that, and you'll understand why very shortly. All kills, of course, were going to be tracked by RuneLite as well. Shout out to the loot tracker, and every bone that we got from every kill we did pick up and bank. So multiple ways of tracking the kills here. And you know, this tar swamp is a hostile area with a lot of thick vines, so in order to navigate through and kill the monsters faster, an axe was needed. A rake can also be used to clear out vines on the ground, but since I was staying near one specific area, I didn't need one. And you also have to look out for the spined mushrooms that surround this area, as well as all of the swamp in general. These can poison you when you pass by and deal up to 10 damage. And once this started happening to me, I did switch from a fighter hat to a serpentine helmet, so no more poison. Using a berserker ring imbued at first and then switching to a ring of suffering shortly after. As you can see, the tar monster tends to hit like every single time, so the ring of suffering is very useful here due to that consistency. If you can afford one, you actually want to kill these things, I do recommend it. From my experience in this swamp, most people don't come here to kill tar monsters. Most people come here to cut the Celia mushrooms. As seen here on screen, they give 127 woodcutting XP per chop, and they are very beneficial. Surrounded by hoop snakes, if you just want to take your weapon off and kick the snake by stunning it and then pretty much just picking it up, this is actually how you are able to stun a tar monster and make it stop attacking you. Now, I thought it would be a cool idea to, you know, try this method out and then kill the tar monster once I stunned it with this very snake. I actually messed up the first time and let it go, so be careful how you click. So after capturing another snake and using it to stun the tar monster, I unfortunately found out that you're unable to kill a tar monster while it is stunned, but if you do make it passive, which is what it's labeled once you do this, it just kind of falls asleep and goes back underneath the swamp. I guess it hibernates for a little bit, but it really doesn't do too much because, as you can see, as soon as we do that, another one spawns and starts attacking you. So I'm not really sure how great that method is, but it is important to note that, you know, there are some people that may do this in order to not get bothered by these things. You know, usually during these loot videos I encounter other PVMers or clue scrollers, but here in the swamp I really only ran into people cutting the Celia mushrooms. As a matter of fact, I did run into a clan chat member while killing these tar monsters, and I cut a mushroom myself and I got some nummulite. Nummulite is also a drop that you can receive from tar monsters. Unfortunately, the max quantity is 14, so you're better off at the mushrooms for that nummulite. And these mushrooms are actually really useful for Iron Men accounts. You can receive mushrooms and Mortmeyer fungus just from chopping them, as well as a mushroom cap at a rate of 1 in 100. I did see two really good YouTube videos explaining everything you need to know about these mushrooms, and they will be in the links in the description below, so feel free to check them out if that interests you. As it goes for these tar monsters, you know, one thing you can bet on for a drop here is, of course, swamp tar. The drop rate is actually unknown because no one has ever killed these things before, but I am hoping by the end with my 1000 loot screenshot from the loot tracker on RuneLite, we will have an answer for the rate of swamp tar here, because I know the world will not go on unless we find that out. And since the tar monster is on Fossil Island, you do have the possibility at receiving fossils. Small is 1 in 70, medium is 1 in 140, large is 1 in 175, and lastly we have the rare at 1 in 700. Unfortunately, that is it for the drops. There's nothing else. Not a clue scroll, not anything. I figure since the last couple loot videos have been of lower level monsters that have been around for over a decade, this time I would do something higher level, something newer, and let's be honest, look at the graphics on that thing. Sounds all too familiar. But yeah, it is sad that the drop table was not really looked at or made into anything when developing this monster. If you ask me, putting this tar monster in Lumbridge Swamp as well as other swamps around RuneScape would really make for a great lower to medium level free-to-play and pay-to-play boss to kill. Maybe adding a tar related weapon or armor, degradable or whatever, maybe a tar spell. I mean, anything to give this incredible monster some more popularity and some more use. So many monsters in this game that I've seen and read about through the years, especially on the wiki, and this one in particular really did stand out to me. So I almost never say this, but I hope Jagex does see this video and does something with this monster. The only ever time that my videos actually changed any monster in the game was a couple years ago with the brine rats. I did suggest that the medium clues should be added to the drop table, and the old school team agreed, and voila! A couple months later, brine rats were made a little more appealing. Now, as it goes for the loot, although it was uneventful here, I still wanted to make this video entertaining, so at the end what I did was I dressed up as a tar monster, I changed my username to fully embrace it, and I went PKing. It was a fun few hours, and even if you haven't really enjoyed what you've seen so far, hopefully that makes up for it. This tar monster is really aggressive, so if you happen to be a level 3 skiller running around in this swamp, which a friend of mine who saw me making this video actually was a level 3 skiller, and he reached out to me and he said, Mr. No Sleep, whenever I want to cut mushrooms in this swamp, these tar monsters just absolutely destroy me, making it almost impossible. And then I see Max Mains running around with a bulwark and graceful, using food and anti-poisons. I mean, this swamp is no joke. You have poisonous plants, big tar monsters throwing things at you. I think the risk alone is worth making the drop table here more worthwhile. But what do I know? So anyway, here we have the last inventory. It took a long time. As you can see, when you fight a tar monster, it really does delay your hits a lot. I think it takes like 3 hits just to get 1 hit out because the tar, the muck, whatever is in this swamp really slows down your abilities to attack. So yeah, it really took much longer than it should have. If this was any other monster, probably would have been twice as fast. Regardless, 60 to 70 kills an hour with this setup. Now it is time for the price check. 1,000 bones, 3,120 swamp tar, and 2,650 nummulite. The overall price check from 1,000 tar monsters and just the tradable loot comes out to be 210.6k, rounded up to 211k. Now we have all the different sized fossils that we are going to go trade in to the fossil collector over at Fossil Island, and once we do trade all these in, we will receive all of the nummulite from this video and add this on to the previous price check. With an overall amount now in the inventory of 5,500, the extra 126k will come in handy. Adding that on to the 211k, it looks like the overall loot is 337k from 1,000 tar monsters. As mentioned before, 16 hours spent killing this thing, getting stuck in the mud time and time again, or tar, whatever it is. It was really repetitive, but at the end of the day, every monster means every monster. No matter how bad, how small, how weird, or how unappealing, we gotta kill everything. And hey, we only got like 200 or so monsters left, so we're making pretty good progress. I do hope you guys enjoy the following clips. This was me trying to impersonate a tar monster. The username was pretty on point, but I didn't really know how to dress up, so I just kind of went with a dark setup and a mask that kind of looked like a tar head. I don't know. This was the best I got though. Either way, the next video is 1000 medium clue scrolls, and I have live streamed all of it on Twitch. If you want to check that out, the link's in the description. After that, we have 3000 black dragons. That's almost halfway complete on the Iron Man. That's going to be an excellent video for you all. Also been doing some questing lately, and I have done Sins of the Fathers, so I can now kill vampires and make a big loot video on that. So really excited that that will be probably the start of next month. And other than all of that, I really do hope you guys have been doing good lately. Appreciate all the support. I know a lot of people have been commenting that the channel is dying and certain videos have been getting terrible views. That's just what happens when you kill a monster that isn't as popular as something else. You know, you kill Alchemical Hydra, 500,000 people see it. You kill 3,000 snails and 30,000 people see it. And that's just the way this channel works. You can't expect every video to be a hit, but I've been doing this series for 2 years now, and I really do enjoy the creativity and the diversity in it. So that's kind of what keeps me going, and it's really, and I don't see myself slowing down anytime soon. So I just wanted to reassure you guys of that. Anyway, until next time, Mr. No Sleep, out.